Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to configure a DHCP server within two networks. And so without further ado, let's get started. So obviously first thing you want to get is two switches for your two networks. So we got switch 1, switch 2. You could just rename them if you want to, which I am, switch 1. Switch 2, and then this one would be switch 1. There we go. It doesn't really matter, you keep the default name that you're giving it, but for this demonstration it'll make things easier. So now we're gonna have our two PCs and a laptop, and then we're gonna have our two laptops and a PC. It doesn't really matter. This is this for demonstration purposes. You can have as many devices as you want, but we're just gonna use 3 for each network. So now we're gonna connect these via internet, and then also on our switch 2 network, that's where our DHCP server is gonna live on. So we're gonna do that and connect that as well. Now we have everything connected. Last thing we're gonna do is connect our routers. Copper straight through, or nope, doesn't matter what interface for the switch, but make sure you have 000 on switch 1. I mean, it doesn't really matter, you could swap it, but it'd be a headache to crisscross. And then now, since I have those connected, I'm gonna label this. So now we have switch, oops, I do it. Switch 1. We got 192.168.10.1. That's gonna be our IP address, and then our interface will be G000. There we go. Now we're gonna do the same thing for this switch. Do switch 2, and this is just for having some organization when it comes to doing these labs, and it makes it easier for yourself. And then we're gonna do 24, and then we're gonna also have that 0-1, and then this is gonna be our DHCP server will be 192.168.20.2. So there we go. Now we can get out of that. Let's just move right here in the middle. So now once we did that, this for organization purposes, now we're gonna actually start configuring. So now we're gonna go to our DHCP server, right? And first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go IP configuration, and we're gonna give it the IP address 192.168.20.2. Obviously we can't use 20.1 because that's gonna be our default gateway. So 192.168.20.1. And then, so yeah, we'll give it 20.2. So once you do that, you're gonna go to services, and we're gonna go to DHCP, and we're gonna make 2 new server pools. So first, we're gonna do switch 1, which is our 192.168.10 IP address pool. So we're gonna do 192.168.10.1, and obviously we're gonna change it to 10, and we can start at 10.2 since we don't have our DHCP server taking up that IP address. So now we have add, we're gonna save, make sure service is on before you save, and then now we're gonna do the same thing, 2, just change this to 20, and now we're gonna do 20, but we can't do from 20.20.2 because our DHCP server is on this IP address, so we gotta start from .20.3. So now we're gonna add, and then we're gonna save. So there we go. So now we have our server pools for switch 1 and switch 2. So now once we do that, we can exit out of it, and now we're gonna configure our router. So now we're gonna go to the command line interface, or we can do no, and then we're gonna do, oops, I forget it goes on my other desktop. So now, or other monitor I should say. So now here we go. So now we're gonna enable configure terminal, And now we're gonna go to interface G0/0/0. So now we're in our switch 1 interface. So we're on this right here. As you see, that's why you write it down so you don't get confused. And now we're gonna assign it the default gateway. So 192.168.10.1. And then make sure you add the subnet mask after. There we go. And now we're gonna add the IP helper address, which is gonna be our DHCP address, or server address. So 192.168.20.2. And there we go. So once we do that, we do no shutdown. And then we're gonna do write memory. So this saves everything, right? After that, we could exit, and we're gonna do the same thing, but on the other network interface. So we're gonna do interface G0/0/1. So this is our switch 2 interface. Now we're gonna do the same thing, assign it the default gateway for that interface that we put on the server pool. So 192.168.20.1. Oh, and then don't forget the subnet mask. There we go. And then now we're gonna add the IP helper address again, which is gonna be our DHCP server IP address. There we go. So now we have that. We can do no shutdown once more. And then we'll do write memory once more as well. So now we have building configuration. We can exit out of that. Notice how it's building connectivity. We'll just fast forward time so we don't have to wait. And now when we go to our computers, we're gonna go to desktop, go to IP configuration. If you press DHCP, you're gonna receive a DHCP IP address. There we go. I don't know why this one didn't work. Let's try this one again. There we go. So, oops, I wasn't showing on the screen, so it doesn't even matter. So now we have our DHCP IP addresses. So we have our PC0. I could just show y'all again. I turn it off and turn it back on. There we go. And then we'll do this one as well. Turn it off, turn it back on. And then we do turn it off, turn it back on. So now we'll leave it all on. Let me just make sure that, yeah, okay, they were left on. And then we get to do our switch 2 network as well. There we go. We got our DHCP server address. Do it again. There we go. And then last device. There we go. So all devices were able to receive a DHCP IP address. So now, once I've shown that all DHCP server IP addresses have worked, now we're gonna ping within the network. Obviously, you can't ping outside of the network because one, it's on a different IP address pool, unless we were VLAN trunking, which in this case we're not. And so we're gonna go to command prompt. Notice how I tried the 192.10.3. It doesn't work, but we do 192.168.20, and we'll see what laptop 1 is on. It's on port 5, so we'll do dot 5. And it should receive all packets. And there we go. So hope y'all enjoyed that video. That's how y'all configure a DHCP server. If y'all have any questions, let me know in the comments. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple. This is my first video in a while, so I decided, you know what, why not make another networking with Matt packet tracer video. I'm currently working on my networking certifications at the moment, so I was like, why not? But yeah, guys, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And Until next time.